Hello everyone, this is Tessa from Edel Realty. It's been a while. I welcome you all back for joining me again. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about Lakowe Lakes. Judging from the previous videos I had in the past, a lot of you had a lot of questions concerning Lakowe Lakes and a lot of interest concerning Lakowe Lakes. So that's going to be my focus for this video. So basically, I'll be talking about why Lakowe Lakes is as expensive as it is. So Lakowe Lakes, basically, we all know about how organized they are. How basically Lakowe Lakes is like an experience. It's a high end commodity. Um, like the developers like to say, it's not a property or a home for a first time owner. It's not for that category of individuals. And well, if I were to analyze that statement, I would say, well, if whether or not I agree with it is inconsequential, but I kind of understand what they mean, because a typical first time home owner might not necessarily have as much funds to pull into that type of investment, because we're talking about lands that go for upwards of 30, 40, 70 million, and then homes that cost about over 150 million. The first time someone that has that kind of money to invest in a home obviously would most probably already have a home in one or two homes somewhere else. You understand? But I just wanted to talk about why the property is so high priced. Okay, so for those of you, most of you have already seen my video I did, the tour around the estate. If you haven't, I'll drop a link to the videos so that you can check it out. So from the video, or if you've been there, I've taken some of you over there a couple of times, and if you go there, there's just something about the place. There's a whole lot that goes into the experience. Yeah, let me use that word. It's an experience. For those of you who have a little bit of idea about branding, it's all in the experience. They put a lot into the ambience of the place, the experience of the place. You even as a potential investor, you can't just walk in there and say you want to look around. Nobody's going to let you in. Apart from the fact that the whole place is completely secured with the perimeter fencing and all of that. They have both the regular mopole and standby policemen. Everything is just top notch. So basically, you get what you pay for. From the 24 hours lighting, they have their own power supply, by the way. Of course, you're going to have to pay for that outside of the fee you pay for your house or for your property. If you're going to be living in there, for those of you that want to be living in there, you obviously have to pay a monthly fee for your electricity bill, and that includes both the power grid and their standby power supply. If you saw the previous video, you already know that you're not really allowed to come in with your generators or any of all that, because it's just going to disrupt the peace of the environment. So basically, you get what you pay for. That's just it. The water supply is central, the sewage system is central, the topography generally of the area is just. The video I made last, I did it like a day after a major flooding in Lagos, and I couldn't find any pool of water anywhere. If you were to buy a land there, for example, you wouldn't need to worry about setting up your own sewage system. I know a lot of realtors out there talk about advantages of the estates they're trying to market. I'm not really trying to market anything in particular here. I'm just discussing. So some realtors talk about advantages of the properties that they're managing or they're selling, and they'll be like, okay, central sewage system and this and this and that. But not many people actually take out time to explain what that central sewage system really means per se. Okay, basically it just means you don't have to worry about sinking in your own sewage system. You know, if take Mr. A for example, if he buys a plot of land in this area and then Mr. B buys next to him, in the absence of such an arrangement about the central sewage system, Mr. A can decide to sink in his sewage system, that's the soakaway pit. He can decide to sink it in at the back of his property or at the side of the property, and then Mr. B can decide to put his own borehole on that same side, but on his own side. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to explain here. Basically, we're talking about talking about sanitation of your water. We're talking about a lot of things, and this is not to even mention the money you would spend to actually the extra money you would spend to sync up your own sewage system. Or is it the light? If you were to buy your property somewhere else, in an estate that doesn't have um central lighting or central, you know what I'm trying to talk about. If you were to buy a property in an area like that, you would have to spend another special fee for, you know, connecting to the power grid, drawing light here, doing this, doing that. Basically, the reason why the property is so expensive is because they spend a whole lot of money trying to arrange everything for the potential homeowners. So if you were to buy a plot of land, basically the only business you have doing is to build your house in the land to your taste, but of course it has to match, this essay they have to do with uniformity and all of that. Okay, so your house that you're building there, it has to look like the rest of them. It doesn't mean everything there looks exactly alike, but they have like an album, and you pick whatever you like from there. But they usually have the same color of roof for their buildings, something like that. Okay, so basically I was saying, if you buy a land in an estate like that, basically the only thing you have to worry about is building the house. You build and plug in. There's already the water supply running through the grid. So your own is to, once you finish building, plug into the grid, and there you have your water. You don't have to worry about the supply of the water or the pumping or the treatment or anything like that. Sewage system is the same thing. You build everything and then you plug in. Everything has already been set in place. So for a property that has taken its time to take away all that worrying from you and off of your back, I would say that's why it's so expensive. Because for most other properties, especially the ones without such a solid title, I'm sure you're aware, Lakowe Lakes, the properties, in fact, all of the properties marketed by that developer, they all have a C of O. So you find out that when you are spending that much millions buying a plot of land, or how many square meter, 500 square meter, and all of that, if you are buying it outside of a place like that, you not spend up to you'll be spending a fraction of that amount. But you know that you have to deal with a lot of other things that come with all of that, with the omonile, even if there's no issue with omonile, which of course we know that there is. But even if we were to take that out of the equation, then we also have to think about a lot of things, like I've mentioned before, plugging into the light. Of course, it seems like a little bit now, but the truth is that for most, in fact, let me talk about first homeowners in particular. Someone that has managed to save how many years, over a space of how many years, and has managed to gather, let's just say, 10 million, and now the person is ready to own a home. Obviously you can't, Lakowe Lakes is not going to be for you. And such a person is obviously going to want to manage, in quotes, and be like, okay, let me invest in this particular property. Um, it might not necessarily have a C of O, but that doesn't necessarily make it a bad option. But it could be maybe, okay, government excision, or they will even tell you, okay, the excision is even in progress, fine, there's no problem. But you have to now worry, just because of the money management issue, then you have to start worrying about a lot of things, connecting to the power grid, this and that, prepaid meter. You know how the whole system is. So Lakowe Lakes is a high-end commodity, and I think, in my opinion, that's the reason why they are so high priced, because they have taken a lot off of your shoulders. So that's basically what this video is about. Yeah, and also this doesn't this video, like I said, it's the aim is not necessarily to market Lakowe Lakes. It's just I'm trying to talk about the reason why it's so high priced. So basically, the train of thought I was trying to follow is that the whole video now sounded like saying Lakowe Lakes is the only property where you don't have to worry about a lot of other things. So no, the answer is no. Lakowe Lakes is not the only property that you can invest in that where you don't have to worry about 24 hours power supply or the central sewage system or the a lot of other benefits I was mentioning. I'm just talking about Lakowe Lakes in particular because of the number of comments and questions I got about them. So that's why the focus of this discussion was about Lakowe Lakes. This is not to say it's the only property where you get some or all of all those benefits. So I just wanted to chip that one in there before I forget, and so I'm not misquoted. Please, nobody should come for me. I'm just here to provide information for my viewers, and make sure before they invest in any property of their choice, they have all of the necessary information that they need, and that by the time they take that step to make that decision to invest, it will be an informed decision that you would not regret, and to be a decision that well, depending on your purpose of investing in the property, it will be a decision that would bring you quick return on investment if that's what you were going for, or if you were going for a home, it will be a property that you're going to be happy and at peace with your environment. I don't know who would want to live in a place where there's sanity and peace of mind, please. So that's just basically what I wanted to clear up. So this is going to be it for now. And meanwhile, let me just drop a quick announcement. I will be talking about and analyzing a lot of other properties, benefits, features, and everything. I will be doing all of that one estate at a time. So for those of you who haven't subscribed, please do so now and hit the bell button so that whenever the video is up, you will be the first to know. So that's going to be it from me for today. Till next time. Bye.